Hey my pretties, so today I'm going to be doing a easy, flawless drugstore makeup tutorial, and it's going to be using all drugstore products that are affordable, and it's just going to be very, very basic for beginners. So if you want to learn how to do this, just keep on watching. So first I am going to start off with my face because we're not really going to be doing much for the eyes. It's just going to be really fresh and dewy. I have dry skin, so dewy really works for me. The Maybelline Baby Skin, and this is good for the T-zone area. It helps with the pores and everything because it's very silicone-y. So I'm just going to use this in my T-zone area. What primer does for you is it helps your makeup stay on all day long, and it gives a base for the foundation. So it's going to help the foundation stick on and just going to help with lasting all day. For foundation today I'm going to be using the Loreal Infallible, and this is actually the Pro Glow and the Pro Matte. So I'm going to mix them just to get my perfect shade. I really love the Pro Glow. I'm just going to dot this all over my face, and then I'm going to be using a beauty blender to blend out. And with a beauty blender, you don't have to go buy the actual beauty blender. You can buy one from Walgreens. There's a couple that are really good. The Real Techniques one is really good, and I think it's like $8. And then also the Soho London, that one's really good too, and that one's cheap. So I'm just going to get my beauty blender. It's always going to be damp. You just wet it in the water, squeeze out all the water, that way it's not going to be soaking. And if you've never used a beauty blender before, don't be scared. It's actually the best application in my opinion. I hate using brushes. The beauty blender just gives us flawless finish to where there's not going to be any problem with streakiness. We definitely don't want that. Always remember to blend down your neck. Don't forget about the neck area. We definitely don't want to miss that because we want it to match. For me, this foundation is really full coverage, which I love because I have so much redness, and I definitely want to cancel that out. We're going to be using concealer, and I have a couple choices here from the drugstore that are really good, and like I said, definitely way cheaper than if you're going to go out and buy expensive stuff from Sephora if you're not down with that. The ones that I have here are the Maybelline Master Conceal. This one is one of my top favorites ever. It's really good, and it provides really good coverage. Next, I do have the Maybelline Age Rewind. Everyone says this is a dupe for the MAC concealer. So today I'm going to be going in with the Age Rewind, and I'm just going to... I took off the applicator because I hate that little sponge. So I just popped that off, and you just twist it up and it comes out. I'm just going to dab some on the back of my hand. That way I can put it underneath my eyes. A little down the bridge of my nose, forehead, pretty much the center of the face where there's highlight points on your face. That's where we're going to be doing it. Now we're going to blend out with the beauty blender. Be setting that, and I'm going to be setting it with a loose powder. That way it stays all day and doesn't move around. Usually if you don't set, your makeup's not going to last as long, so we definitely want it to last all day. I'm going to be taking the Airspun loose face powder, and I heard a lot of good things about this from Patrick Starr, so I picked it up and I do really like it. This one is I got from Walgreens, and I don't know if there's different shades. I just picked the translucent extra coverage. So I'm just going to set that. I'm just going to pick it up on the Beauty Blender and press that into the skin. I'm going to press it right under the eyes. And I'm just going to press it in. Same for the other eye. We're not rubbing, we're pressing into the skin, that way we're not moving product around. And now, so I'm just gonna leave that on there and dust it off. Whatever's excess, just gonna dust it off. Now I'm going to set the rest of my face very, very lightly. Like I said, we're not going to be using too much powders because we don't want to be looking cakey. Less is more in this tutorial. I do like to make sure I set my nose and mouth area because those are the places that I touch a lot all day long, is all this area right here. So we don't want that to move around. Next we're going to be doing contouring and bronzing, and I know a lot of people aren't really comfortable with this, especially beginners, so I'm just going to show you a really easy way. And like I said, you don't have to have really expensive products to get the job done. I have been using really, really cheap drugstore products forever, and I love them. So I'm going to be using the Rimmel Natural Bronze. Just looks like this, and we're going to bronze as well as contour. So I'm just going to pick some product up, and it honestly does not matter what brush you use. I've used weird shaped brushes, powder face brushes. It doesn't matter what brush you use. This is what the one that I'm using looks like. It kind of has that angle right there, but these brushes are inexpensive as well. Honestly, you could just use whatever you have, it'll work. So I got the product on the brush, and now I'm just gonna suck in to where I see where that line is. That way we can make our features stand out a little bit more. So I usually just suck my face in, that way I can kind of see where it naturally contours. And then I'm just gonna put that product right there. We never want to blend downward, we only want to blend upward when we're contouring, because that's when it looks weird. The highlight is going to be right underneath, so we definitely want to make sure we're blending upward. And when contouring and bronzing, you're going to be doing the cheeks and then the outer perimeters of your face back to the cheeks. That's what I usually do. And then you also can do the outside of the face. I don't do too much because I feel like it doesn't really hide my double chin. I just pretty much do whatever's left over on the brush. Next, we're going to be doing cleaning up underneath that line that we just did right here. We're going to go underneath with the same powder brush we used to set the face. And I'm just going to clean up a little bit underneath. Also, I am going to take my Beauty Blender with whatever powder is still on there. I'm just going to take the Beauty Blender and cut that cheek. The secret with makeup at any point is going to be blending. When we blend, we do take away all the sharp lines, and we definitely don't want it to make it look just like a giant blob. So next I'm going to be going in with blush, and I'm actually going to be using my e.l.f. blush palette. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go in with that. With blushes and stuff, I like going for more peachy tones. I just think it looks good with my skin tone. e.l.f. blush brush. And this brush is really, really cheap, and it gets the job done. I also use it for my highlight. Next part of this tutorial is I love looking luminous, glowy, and just radiant skin. So I'm going to be going in with the e.l.f. I think it's the Baked Blush or Baked Highlighter. And this one is in Moonlit Pearl or Moonlight Pearls. And this one is so cheap. It's probably like $3. And I'm just going to be swirling my brush in, getting some product on there. And this is going to go right above the cheeks, right underneath the eye. That's where your highlight is going to go. And then I also put a little right here in the middle of the forehead. And then on the Cupid's bow right here on your lip. A little on the chin. And a little on the nose. I'm just going to use my finger. And I'm going to put a little on the tip of my nose. And then on the bridge of my nose. I don't know if you can tell, but I really, really like it. Next, after we've got all the powders down, I'm going to go ahead and go in with some spray. This is to set the makeup and kind of lock all the powders in. That way your face doesn't look so powdery. It's going to kind of combine the powders with everything that we put on there, and it's just kind of going to make them one. So this is the NYX Dewy Finish Long Lasting Setting Spray. And this one I think is like $7. It works really well. Like I said, you don't have to break the bank. Whatever you can afford, you can make it work. Next, I'm going to go ahead and do the eyes. Today we're going to do winged liner, just super simple, and also an inner corner highlight. So we're going to use that same exact highlight that I used to highlight my cheeks. We're going to use that in the inner corner. So I'm just going to get an eyeshadow brush, one of the $1 ones. So I'm going to be using this, and I'm just going to take the same exact highlighter and I'm going to just dab it in the inner corner. That way it can just bring a little something to your eyes, because we're not going to be doing much. We're just going to be doing eyeshadow. Just going to put it right there on the corner, inner corner of the eyes, just to highlight. And also, I'm going to brush my brows really quickly. You can use whatever you have. I just have a little brow brush. They're pretty bushy right now. I need to pluck them. And I'm going to highlight my brow bone. I'm going to take the same exact highlighter I've been using, and I'm going to highlight the very tip of my brow bone. Next, we're going to be doing the eyeliner. So this can be kind of tricky, but I don't want you to overthink it. It is scary at first to try doing eyeliner for the first time if you haven't, but you'll get it really quickly. It's the NYC liner, and it just comes like this in the liquid form. I love liquid eyeliner. It's the best and easiest thing that I can work with. I'm not a pro at gel liner at all, so this is definitely what I like to use. And when I do eyeliner, what I do is I start off at the corner of my eye, and I just draw one line like that. So I'm going to draw a little line. And then what I'm going to do is actually go from the inner corner and connect it over to that line that I just did. So now that I got my lid done, I'm going to go ahead and just connect it over make a little wing. I'm not going to do a giant one today. I'm just going to do a very subtle wing. And it's always going to be skinnier at the very, very tip. We definitely don't want it to be really, really thick at the end, because that's where you want it to start feathering out. So now I'm going to do the other side and I'm going to match them up. And don't be sad if both sides don't look identical, because honestly that's never going to happen. I'm just going to tell you right now. You can never get them exactly the same. Next, I'm going to let that dry. And then I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Voluminous, and I actually have always been obsessed with the Maybelline mascaras, but once I saw Jaclyn Hill, she recommended this one and she said this is her top favorite ever, so I was like, I gotta give it a try. Love the face you make when you put mascara on. So sexy. Mouth wide open. Double chin. Now I'm going to just do my eyebrows, and like I said, this is for the beginners. All I usually do with my eyebrows is sometimes I use a brow pencil and just define a little bit, but today I'm just going to be using clear brow gel, and this one is from Essence. I just like using brow gel, that way it just helps them stay all day in one spot and they don't get ragged. Next, I'm going to just put on some lipstick. Whenever I'm doing this look, I think lipstick makes a really, really simple look really pretty. Nude or a colorful color would look really pretty, even pink. I'm doing all drugstore products. I'm going to just use my tried and true, and I swear, these lipsticks are so good and they're only $1.99. These are the Wet n Wild lipsticks, and I love them. I've always loved them. I have pretty much every shade. My top favorite shade of all time is going to be Bare It All. I'm going to be using the Milani lip pencils, and this is in number 4, All Natural. Okay, so with that lipstick over top the lip liner, it's actually going to help it last a lot longer. When the top layer wipes off, you'll see the nude lip liner underneath, so it'll stay on almost all day. I actually tested it out one day with the Wet n Wild ones, and I paired it with a lip liner and I wore it to work. And once I came home, I think it might have been like a 6-hour shift. Once I came home, it was still on. This is the finished look. You can see it's definitely dewy, glowy, very, very natural and easy to do with all drugstore products. I think that's it for this look. Thank you so much for watching, and if you liked it, go ahead and subscribe and press the like button and share it if you want. Thanks so much for watching. Love you guys.